Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching it from. Welcome to Get a Better Life TV. Hi guys. So I'm waiting for you guys to join the conversation. So hi guys. The time here is the time right now in Nigeria is 8:52, 8:52 p.m. So welcome to Get a Better Life TV once again. Tonight our topic is do Yoruba or Ifa religion followers believe in God? So that's our topic for tonight. Do Yoruba or Ifa religion followers believe in God? So welcome to Get a Better Life TV once again. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching me from. Welcome to Get a Better Life TV. So, our topic once again is do Ifa religion or Yoruba religion followers believe in God? So, first of all, Yoruba religion, or you can say Ifa religion. Preferably, we can say Yoruba religion followers. So, I think that is what is generally known online, Yoruba religion uh, or Ifa religion. So it's called Ifa religion because Ifa is the Odu Ifa are the messages sent down to Yoruba Race. So when we say Ifa religion, it's pretty much very good to use. And when we say Yoruba religion means the religion of Yorubas, right? So, but generally, it is known as Ifa religion because of the messages that we have in the Odu Ifa, which is from Orunmila. So, our topic is do Yoruba or Ifa religion followers believe in God? So, I always say this that our ancestors in Yoruba land knew God before the coming of the Westerners or before the coming of Abrahamic religions into our land. So we knew God, right? So the question is of do Yoruba or Ifa religion followers believe in God um, has a simple answer, but we need to elaborate and expatiate on it and share some thoughts with you guys concerning the belief, the traditional belief of Yoruba people, of the traditional believers, right? So kudos to our elders and our brothers and sisters in Yoruba land who uh, from the beginning of their life, right, childhood, they have been traditional believers. Kudos to them. They stick to this belief despite the fact that the Abrahamic religion uh, followers say a lot of negative uh, stuff, a lot of negative impression about our own culture, our own tradition and religion, like a misconception that the traditional believers are evil worshippers or are devil worshippers or they are idol worshippers. So this has been the most misconception. So today, I will share some thoughts with you on this and what I know. You know, I was born and brought up in Yoruba land, and I'm a Yoruba person. So I'm close to the tradition, close to the religion and stuff like that. And I have friends, I have Christian friends, and even Muslim friends, and even my family, we are more of Muslims, right? But I prefer, or let me say, I love my traditions and my religion and even my culture more. And I have my reason, right? So when you have tested um, everything. You know, you've tested, you've seen everything, you've seen it all. So and thank God for this our generation that we have uh, uh, easy access to information. So the question once again, the topic once again is, do Yoruba religion followers believe in God? The answer is very straightforward, right? It's a straightforward answer. The answer is yes, right? But there are explanations attached to the answer, right? So, first of all, the concept of Olodumare, the concept of Olodumare is from Yoruba or Ifa religion, Olodumare, right? So, and we have other names that we call God in Yoruba land, that even before the coming of Abrahamic religion, we have the names of God that we call God. We call Olorun, that is the owner of Orun. Orun means heaven, like um, um, Orun is the sky. We believe that the sky is up there, so nobody knows what is up there except what science says, that is a cloud and then nothing is up. You know, whatever science proof. But in Yoruba land, our ancestors knew that there is Orun, which is right up there. You know, you can call it heaven, but Orun is the next. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Thank you. So, any religion into our land, right? And as I was saying, I said we have names that we call God in Yoruba, and I'm very sure in other part of African countries they have what they call God. So I'm speaking generally now that Africans knew God before the coming of the Abrahamic religion into our land. So the question of, do Yoruba religion followers or Ifa religion followers believe in God? Simply, the answer simply is yes, and I have my explanation. Because um, some of these followers of other religions find it very difficult to believe this, that our ancestors knew God before the coming of foreign religions into our land, and that is the explanation that I want to try as much as possible to give tonight. So, as I was saying, the Yoruba land, I'm using my own land as a focal point, as a point of example for other African countries, right? So in Yoruba land, we knew God before the coming of African religion, because we we have the name that we call God. We have as many names as possible that we call God in Yoruba land. Like as I was explaining Olorun. So when you say means the owner of the sky up there, of heaven, preferably some people will call it heaven, not literally not heaven. When you say Orun, we our ancestors knew that something is right up there that is bigger than everybody, right? And we send our prayers to, right? So the misconception that people are having is that our ancestors believe that there are orishas, there are angels, the Irumoles that can take your prayers to Olorun. And this is where the other religions are getting it wrong, like having a misconception that the Yoruba religion followers are idol worshippers because of the lack of understanding, because of the lack of understanding they have, right? And because of what they have been told about their own culture, tradition, and religion. So it is better to learn to seek for more knowledge about something before you judge, right? Even in other religions, they came to Africa, they came to our land to teach us, right? To teach us their their concept of God. They came to our land to teach us their own concept of God. Now, leaving our own concepts aside, right? And earlier I said, kudos to our elders and our brothers and sisters who have been traditional believers right from their births, and they stick to it regardless of whatever people are saying to discourage them, right? Because there are, if you are in my land, in Yoruba land, if you call yourself a traditional believer, yeah, the society will like this guy is be careful, don't. Okay, I'm back. So as I was saying, in our land, um, you may our brothers and sisters are not many of them are not proud of their own cultural traditions and religion, and it is because of the misconception. And one of the misconception is what I'm trying to address tonight. That is, do Yoruba or Ifa religion followers believe in God? And I'm explaining already. I'm explaining that yes, yes, and I've said it that before the coming of Abrahamic religion into our land, our ancestors knew God, right? Our ancestors knew God, and I'm giving you the proof right here. So when you say Olorun or Olodumare, majorly many of Yoruba brothers and sisters prefer to use the word Olorun than Olodumare, right? And the word Olorun have been in use. Oh, sorry, pardon, has been in use for a very long time, even before the the coming of the Westerners into our land. So, for our ancestors to have known that there is there is a supreme being up there whose name is Olorun, that means the owner of the sky up there, because we believe that we've not seen him. That means it's right up there. It's sending nature down to us, and we've not seen him. That's why we say he's in charge of Orun. So, and that's the literally meaning of Olorun, the owner of heaven or the owner of hope, right there. So our ancestors knew this before the coming of Abrahamic religion. And in the past, before the Abrahamic religion came to our land, our ancestors uh, had a way of talking to God, had a way of talking to God, to Olodumare themselves, and they have their own concept. And as I was saying, I said the Abrahamic religion or the foreign religion taught taught Africans how to their own concept of God. They came to our land to teach us their own concept of God, while leaving ours aside. While making us to feel that their own concept of God is the only way and is the right way. Well, I have no whoever is following their concept, I can't blame them, right? Because so many people were born into it, and since the uh, the Yoruba or the African traditional religions, um, it's not that we are coming up to teach and to explain what the religion says. It is African traditional religion. It is not that we are coming up to explain what it's all about, right? And I'm encouraging you guys, if you are interested in promoting our own culture, tradition, and religion, please do for the coming generation, right? Thank God that we have online platform, we have social media, we have internet, where we can do research, communicate, and teach ourselves and promote the messages, right? So that's what we are trying to do. We are teaching ourselves to love our own traditions, to love our own culture and the religion. So, as I was saying, African knew God before the coming of Abrahamic religions, and and God in our land is called Olorun or Olodumare, or you can say Eledua in Yoruba land. So if our ancestors did not know God, so how managed they got a name for him, right? How managed is because they knew that there is a supreme being up there, and they had their way of talking to him through the angels, which in Yoruba land we call Irunmole, or we have the Orishas, that is the special being, the Eni Orisha, right? So we believe so much that you can't go to God directly. You pray through his angels, or you pray through his special beings, right? Which are the orishas, right? So these are concepts in Yoruba land. This before, even if you go to other countries, other part of the world, the concepts are similar, right? In Christianity, you can't you go through Jesus before you get to God. According to what we know, that if you are praying, you have to pray uh, uh, through Jesus to God. Even though I've been asking questions about this concept, that is Jesus God or is a prophet, so I've not gotten a straightforward answer for that, because some will say he is God, while some will say he's a son of God, and some will say he's a prophet, right? Which is they understand what they do, and they understand the concept themselves, and they are trying to teach us. So for the fact that people are not that some Yorubas or Africans are not following that concept, does not mean that they are going to hell or they are devils, right? So coming to the Islamic religion, they have a prophet that they pray, they believe that, uh, through him, their prayer or whatever is the messages from the prophet, you follow the messages, you can get God's favor and likeness. So the same way in Yoruba land or in Africa, we have what we call the orishas, the Orishas, and we respect our ancestors and the Orunmilas, right? So the concept of religion, the concept is the same all over the world. It's the same. So if if someone says that you are a devil worshippers or you are evil worshipper for being a traditional believer, you should not mind such person. You should not mind such person because there are people now that are already tired of their Abrahamic religions. They are tired, not because maybe the religions are bad or whatever, maybe because of uh, what they want, and what they want is not forthcoming, right? Some are frustrated that every day I go to church or every day I go to mosque and my problem is not solved. Why? What is going on? Some will find a way to meet a babalawo, to do other stuff, to to find a better life for themselves by looking for a means to know to understand their ori or a letter. You understand? So maybe that's one of the main reasons why people are coming back to their ancestral paths, right? In Yoruba land, believe that consulting Lawo is to know how to go about your life, right? Is to know how to go about your life. No, you are not worshiping idol, or you are not worshiping the Babalawo by going to him, right? But you are going is a concept that God gave to us. And if you go to other lands, they have their own concept. If you go to India, they have their concept there. If you go to Chinese, they have their concept of relating with their God, right? With their God, rather. And if you go to other part of the world, they have their ways of relating, uh, uh, of connecting with their God, right? But unfortunately, in Africa, in Yoruba land, we were told that our own concept uh, should not be encouraged, maybe because of what they were told about about our concept of God, right? So it is very clear that our ancestors knew God before the coming of any religion into our land, and um, we believe in God as well. We believe in God because there is a song that I do like to sing that that ìpàdé dọ̀run, like it's a Yoruba song that is ìpàdé dọ̀run ìpàdé dọ̀run tíre bá dìbì ìpàdé dọ̀run. That the meaning of that is that we shall meet in heaven. We shall meet up there to explain our whatever you have done. You will explain. So it has never been that we have to explain to the Orishas. Nobody has said that the Orisha, the only judgment that you can get from the Orishas is on earth, right? If you are a bad person or if you have done something wrong, Ogun can strike you. If you've done something wrong and you are caused using Ogun's name, you can be struck, or or maybe you are a thief and you are compelled to swear if you are the one that did the evil deed. Ogun can strike. That is on earth here, right? The judgment of earth here is the Orishas that can judge you, right? If you swear in their names, if you swear wrongly in their names, you can be judged. But we believe that when you die, you meet God in heaven, and that is why the song that I just sang, that is the meaning of the song, that ìpàdé dọ̀run ìpàdé dọ̀run tíre bá dìbì ìpàdé dọ̀run. So that means until we get up there, right? We don't know what's going to happen there, but when we get there, we'll explain, right? So the concept of religion is the same all over the world. So, but unfortunately, our own concepts, uh, many of my brothers and sisters are rejecting our own concept, right? They are rejecting our own concept. But now that we have ways of explaining to people, to them, that it is not like that, it is like this, right? Some are thinking that all the evil deeds, all the bad things, all the killings, ritual, and everything is from or are from the traditional religion. The answer is no, right? There are people that are evil people. When you say people who are looking for power in all means, they have nothing to do with the Ifa religion. In fact, I've heard from our elders several times that especially the money rituals that people are talking about. I've heard it from our elders that there is no concept of money ritual in in Yoruba religion, right? So spirituality is very wide. Spirituality is wide. Spiritual power and stuff like that are very wide. So it is, if you have gone extra mile to connect yourself with powers that is not in line, or that are not in line with the concept of Yoruba religion or traditional religion, doesn't mean that is from the religion, right? So there are evil people, as you call them. There are bad people who are wicked on their own. That doesn't mean that they are the uh, traditional believers or African traditional believers, right? There are bad people even among other religions, the other religion followers. There are bad people among them. So doesn't mean that any bad thing, any evil deed happening, that they are all from of traditional believers. Traditional believers that I know are very peaceful people, right? If they are not peaceful, they wouldn't have allowed civilization to happen in Africa or in Yoruba land. They wouldn't have allowed that because they had the power. They had the power to strike. They had the power to consult orishas and stuff like that. But they are very peaceful because they know the implication of doing bad with orisha name, right? Even our ancestors, some of them that had the knowledge of charms, they did not teach many of the youth. They did not teach them because they know that when they know this power, they can misuse the power, right? Some of the power, they got some of this power, you know, not by some of the powers were even inborn. Some of the powers were gotten in their dreams, or like for instance the hunters. If you have ever listened to what the hunters that do go into the bush to look for bushmeat and stuff like that. If you have ever listened to them to explain what they do see right in the bush, you will see that spirituality is very wide, right? Spirituality is very, very wide. So when we are talking of Yoruba or Ifa religion, is within the messages of Orunmila. Any other thing or any other messages or any other acts that is not from Odu Ifa is not Yoruba or Ifa religion. Any other messages or whatever that is outside what Odu Ifa says is not Yoruba, or they are not Yoruba or Ifa religion, right? So I've said it that there are people who look for power in all, outside Yoruba or Ifa religion, maybe possessed people that are possessed or whatever. I've said it that spirituality is very wide, and is as very, very wide that you can't even know it all, right? So whatever we are saying on this channel is within the scope of of Ifa and Yoruba religion, the concept of Yoruba religion. That is what we are saying here, right? And when we are talking about of Yoruba religion, we did, our ancestors didn't know anything about religion, didn't say they have a religion. They didn't. But for this generation to feel among, so we have to give a name, which is generally called Yoruba religion or Ifa religion, right? Because our ancestors didn't know anything about religion. Only thing our ancestors knew was spirituality and ways of talking to God and ways of avoiding taboos, right? You know, we have taboos, that things that you should do and things that you should not do. You know, these are what our ancestors knew. Our ancestors didn't know anything about religion. Or if you don't pay a certain amount of money, you go to hell. Or if you don't do this, you go to hellfire. No. In Yoruba land, we believe in Iwa, that is good attitude, right? So your Iwa, the way you live your life, is what you're gonna get, right? And you cannot do bad and be expecting good result, right? So our ancestors believe in Iwa, that is good attitude that you should be well behaved in the society. You should not put your hand in something that can destroy you, right? If things are happening that you cannot explain, consult a babalawo to clarify it. So this is what, or these are what our ancestors knew. But when the Western world, or when the Westerners came to our land, so we were told that there is a religion and it should belong to religion A or religion B, right? For us in Yoruba land to be unified and to have a very good voice and to be organized, so we have to now come up with a concept of religion, and that is why it is called Yoruba religion or Ifa religion. So if you go online now, if you search on Google, if you search for Yoruba religion, you get the explanation and the concept right there on Wikipedia or and if you want to know what Ifa religion is all about as well, if you are hearing for the first time, the concept is right there, right? And if you go online as well, type the list of religion in the world, you see Yoruba religion there, and you get the explanation right there. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing since the world that we are in now has a way of we are still evolving. You know, evolution. We are still evolving. So since our ancestors didn't call theirs religion, now now that we have religion, we have to accept that fact that okay, we have a Yoruba religion. So if someone asks you that what is your religion, you can say you are a Yoruba religion follower or Ifa religion follower, even though you are not a Babalawo, as long as you accept the messages of Orunmila and you are putting them in practice, making use of the messages. So you are Ifa religion followers, right? Maybe you are not a Babalawo, that doesn't mean anything, but you are a follower. You love the messages, right? And you want to listen, you want to learn from the messages of Orunmila. Now there are books in Yoruba language that you can read. Maybe in the nearest future we'll have well translated Ifa books, right? Now another thing that I want you guys to understand is that promotion helped uh, Abrahamic religions so much. Promotion, like talking about uh, talking talking about it all the time, preaching the messages to people on radio, on TV, billboards, programs upon programs. So these are what helped Abrahamic religions in Africa and even in our land, in Yoruba land. If you come to Yoruba land now, hardly you see a street where you will not find like 4 or 5 churches or whatever. So they have that voice. They have promoted themselves to the extent that anywhere you go to, you see their places of worship. So if we too want to help ourselves, want to help our culture, want to help our religion, and want to help our traditions, we should be proud of it by promoting it, right? Like what I'm doing now, I have my reason for doing it. Later on this channel, I'm going to explain my main reason why I chose uh, this this message, why I chose to be doing what I'm doing, right? So we can join hands together to promote our culture, our traditions, and religion because of our coming generation, right? So I think you guys got my explanation correctly. If you have any question, always forward your question to me. Write in the comment section. I'll work on it. Then come with my answer. Right? So, guys, thanks for showing me love on this channel. Thanks for supporting by watching my videos, by liking. One more thing I want you guys to be doing for me is to share this video. Right? Thank you. I love you all. See you tomorrow and get a better life.